Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Helen Chen. I'm the head of External and Alumni Relations at HKUST Business School. Thank you very much for joining us today. To encourage everyone at the HKUST community to make informed choices toward their healthy and fulfilling life, we have launched the Wellness Series this year. This is the third iteration workshop series, and we're excited to have invited our MBA alumna, Judy Xu, and her team to share with us about sleep management and resilience building. If you have any technical problems during the event, please approach our supporting team members who all have HKUST prefix before their name. You're also welcome to ask questions at the Q&A session starting at around 1:40 p.m. It is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker and moderator today, Judy. Judy is from our MBA class of 2006. She is the CEO, Executive Life Coach, and Holistic Health Coach at Balance Health. With the belief that no single system of medicine has the answers to every medical problem, her clinic offers alternatives to the conventional health treatments. She also founded Balance Potential, a workplace wellness company providing people-centric solutions to business challenges through wellness, leadership, and engagement programs. Judy has a unique transformation from marketing and sales professional to a wellness expert and an entrepreneur. It is her life vision to support people to achieve health and wellness in all aspects. She is also keen to promote the concept of benefits of Chinese medicine to the Western world. Without further ado, let me pass the floor to Judy and her team. Don't forget to stay until the end for the lucky draw, and don't fall asleep. Thank you. Judy, yours.
Thank you, Helen, for your very nice and kind introduction. I'm Judy Xu, together with our team, Clara Chong and Catherine Herman, that we're really honored and very grateful for this opportunity to share some insights around sleep and resilience. So probably first, please allow us to just introduce ourselves a little bit. Maybe first I would like to talk quickly about Balance Health. So let me just share the screen. So as Hannah already mentioned, that our vision at Balance is really to support people in their journey toward health, balance, and personal transformation. And we have a very unique approach. So that at Balance, we use a very holistic and integrative approach. So for example, we integrate Chinese medicine, energy medicine, and mind body medicine to really look at what's the root cause of the imbalance and then support people to get back to harmony and balance and health in a very natural approach. And what we do best is like women health, fertility, stress management, and sleep. Pain management, being physical or emotional pain, and also personal development and transformation. So that is about Balance Health. And for ourselves, that has Hannah already introduced, that I'm an MBA alumni from 2006. And maybe a little bit about my journey, that after MBA, I did a few years of a typical MBA type of job, but then I quit and tried to find my Northern Lights. And today I'm very happy and grateful that I do find my path and my Northern Lights. And I'm not only running a business which is aligned with my belief, but also myself is executive coach and life coach. And my work is a lot about to really support people to realize their highest potential, to connect with their purpose, to connect with their inner power, and then to optimize the mind and optimize the body, and really to achieve the peak performance without stress, but with ease and grace. So that's a bit about me and my work, and I'm very grateful to be able to do this. And together with me today, we also have Clara Chong. So Dr. Clara Chong is a registered Chinese medicine doctor. She has a master in acupuncture and PhD in Chinese medicine with HKU. So prior to become a Chinese medicine doctor, Clara actually has been working for the corporate for close to 30 years. And her last role is actually heading the global quality assurance and Asian sourcing for the big company Nike. So she truly understands the stressful corporate life that many of you have. And clinically, that a lot of clients were raving about Clara's very effective pain management treatment or treating chronic disease. But for Clara, especially in the recent years, the thing make her feel most fulfilled is around to supporting the couples who have fertility challenges to conceive babies. Nothing brings us a bigger smile when we see those newborn babies coming to the clinic through our whole support along the journey. And we also have Catherine Herman coming joining us today. She is a registered kinesiology practitioner, and she has been practicing energy medicine for around 10 years. She's also a holistic health coach, and recently she incorporates therapeutic yoga into her practice as well. And Catherine also comes with around 20 years working experience in the corporate, in the big finance industries, as heading a lot of global projects. And she has worked in France, India, and Hong Kong. So that naturally, today she supports a lot of very stressful professionals to do stress management, insomnia, anxiety, depression, and help them to get back to balance. So that's about the theme for today, and our intention and for this session, we probably is we are going to spend around 30 minutes. We want to keep it short and concise, but really to share with you the key frameworks, how to think about sleep, the key knowledges, and then we'll give you some very practical tools so you can take back home to practice on your own and to improve your sleep. So let me share my screen again. And first, I would like to share our first framework. Give me a moment. Let me share the screen. So the first framework that we would like to share is really around the holistic approach toward health. So when we look at sleep, when we look at any aspect that we would like to improve, being health, treating disease, or just being at peak performance, we would like to look at all these four elements: our body, our mind, our energy, and our spirit. So when we look at all these four elements together and use a very integrated approach, then we have a very compound effect to make the whole effect even better. And then related with sleep, sleep is super important because it will impact our body and it will impact our mind, can make our mind to be more focused, have better memory, and think more clarity. It also impacts our energy, and it gives us more grounded spirit as well. So super important for sleep. And if we zoom in into the body level, and if we zoom in into the body level, then again, we also need to use a very holistic way to look at the body. And those are key elements we need to take into consideration is stress, sleep, digestion and diet and food, exercise, hormonal balance, toxicity, genetics, all these elements we need to take into consideration. When we sleep well, all the other elements will enhance. But at the same time, when we do not sleep well, and sleep is something different than diet or exercise you can just do. When you don't sleep well, you cannot just want to sleep well at will. So how to improve sleep? Apart from sleep itself, we also need to look into the other elements like food and digestion, exercise, hormone balance, and toxicity, and all that we will elaborate more later. So now we know that sleep is so important. But then what is good sleep and what is sleep disorder? So Dr. Clara Chong, would you let us to know a bit more?
Yeah, probably a lot of people will think that 8 hours sleep is good, right? But actually it's very individualized. And then like everybody's demand on sleep can be quite different. And it all depends on their own circadian rhythm, which is the rest and wake rhythm that they are going through. If we go back to research, like actually from adults that age around like 26 to 64, the sleep foundations in US is actually thought that anytime between like the range is around like 6 hours sleep to 10 hours sleep is all acceptable, depends on your personal need. So what is a good sleep? The sleep is like probably it all go back to the quality of sleep, and also like whether you wake up with enough energy to go through the day. And let's say what is enough energy is like you have energies to go through the whole day's activities without falling asleep, without feeling tired, then you probably already have a good sleep. So don't take it so adamant on like, oh, 8 hours is a must. But then like rather, I think that is like more important to go for like a quality of sleep. And then like what most of the people complain on two things, like most of the people complain on two things. It's like how can I I don't fall asleep. Well, like it takes me 2 hours to fall asleep, or I wake up constantly during the night and I cannot fall back asleep. So those two are most commonly we heard during our clinical practices. So from a TCM point of view, they of different patterns of insomnia. So like for people that can fall asleep, like a very high percentage of them is actually having the excessive pattern. And the excessive pattern is actually caused by the excessive of heat, or like which can be caused by the yin deficiency, which can be caused by a T stagnations of liver T stagnations, or actually it can be some pathogens in the body that cannot be cleared, like a blood clot or like excessive flame in the body. All can cause heat, and then the heat will make you too active to fall asleep. And the other patterns are actually you wake up at night. Normally, it's also due to like you have a deficiency syndromes. So like deficiency syndromes is also related to a lower performance of the heart system or the spleen system. Occasionally, it will involve the liver and the gallbladder system too. Another very, very common symptoms that we saw, or patterns that we saw in modern city life, is that we find that there's a disharmony between the heart system and the kidney system, which make it very disturbed, and then you cannot calm yourself down, and then like you don't has a limitation of going into deep sleep. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we give tips to improve the sleep. But basically, we are looking at different patterns, and then like there's different reasons for that behind the scene. So in order to improve the sleep, you have to improve the pathogens, eliminate the pathogens, or improve your weakened visceral system. That probably is how we approach it.
Thank you, Clara. So we have different reasons leading to poor quality of sleep. So we need to understand the reason and then improve accordingly, according to Chinese medicine's diagnosis. But at the same time, that there's also things which we can do, which is commonly, which across everybody. So now we are going to share the first thing is around the circadian rhythm. So when we talk about sleep, the first thing is that how we can allow our body to be aligned with the circadian rhythm. So in a Western concept, it says is that when we wake up, and then that our cortisol begin to produce. So it gets us move and do things all through the day. And then that toward the end of the night, the day, and then the cortisol stop, and then that our melatonin begin to produce. And melatonin is really the most important hormone that you need to have. If you don't have enough melatonin, if your daily activity does not support you to produce enough melatonin, then that you won't be able to have good quality sleep. So what are the things we can do to align ourselves to the nature, to the circadian rhythm, so that we will have enough cortisol in the day and enough melatonin at night? So here's a few suggestions that when you wake up, then probably the first thing you can do is to go to somewhere with natural light, to tell your body, hey, I've wake up, and then you can begin to produce cortisol and to get ready for the day. And during the day, we stay indoor a lot. But if you can get outdoor and get some sun exposure, will also definitely help a lot. And we also all know that exercise is a very important, play a very important role for overall health, but also it's a key element for our sleep. But if you can do exercise before 2 o'clock, it will be better for your sleep. Similar as if you do take caffeine intakes, then before 2 o'clock will be best, and try to avoid after 2 o'clock. And then close to night, we have sunset. And then we also need to think about, in the modern world, we need to have digital sunset. What does that mean is that after sunset, let's try to lower the usage of screen time, at least 1 hour to 2 hours before you go to bed. There's no screen time. And also let's try to lower the exposure to the blue light when after the sunset, and especially close to sleep. You can dim your light so there's not too much blue light, because blue light is telling your body that, oh, stop producing melatonin, which is not what you want. And also that when you really sleep, you want to make sure that your room is dark. There's no like Wi-Fi signals, no EMS in the bedroom, so that you can really have a very good quality sleep. So these are more from the Western perspective, and I know from a Chinese medicine perspective, we have another set of the circadian rhythm. And Dr. Clara, can you share a bit more on that?
So like, actually it's quite similar, but then we are more specific on each movement. Like from a TCM perspective, like the connection of human and natures is almost the key of our core body of knowledge. So basically, we study a lot about biological rhythm. So like the most being studied is like including the circadian rhythm, the lunar rhythm, which is like the moon rise and fall type of rhythm, and also the seasonal rhythm. And from the circadian rhythm point of view, in a day of 24 hours, our knowledge is that our Qi, which is the vital energy of the body, moves through different organ system in a 2 hours interval. From 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., which is a very critical time, as this is time that when the vital energy travels to the liver system. We always ask people to go to bed earlier, say between like 11 to 12. But the key thing is that we want you to be in deep sleep, or at least in totally rest by 1 o'clock. The reason is that when the energies or the Qi travels to the certain organs, the organ actually can perform at its peak, which is like they have the most energies that they can perform their functions. And liver is a very key organ system in our body, which is like it detox, it clean the blood, and perform a lot of crucial life functions. And during this moment, we wanted to do the job that it need to do, instead of like we are concentrating on partying outside, wasting our energy, and compromising the liver functions. And from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. per se is like the time which the Qi circulates through the organs that assimilate, digest, and eliminate food in our body. So that's why like from 5 to 7 a.m., like when the Qi is going to the large intestine, is actually a perfect timing for you to clear your bowel. And when you move forward to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the best time for like food intake, because it's like the energy is with the stomach, so it gives you a good digestions. But for the same things, it's like after 3 p.m. And the further you go down at night, then probably it's not a very good idea for you to take late lunch if you are, or late dinner or supper, if you are actually not have a very good digestive system. So what we are trying to say is that if you observe how the energy flow during the day, probably it will help you to perform better, make use of your body energy better, and actually don't compromise your body energies and don't do things that you should not be doing during a certain period of time.
Oh, thank you, Clara. So let's all do things aligned to nature, aligned energy, and not against it. And next, I would like to invite Catherine to talk a bit more around the whole physiology and sleep.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. But there was also a lot of recent study and research around gut and hormones that are secreted inside this area. And in fact, what they discovered is very interesting. In fact, we have more than one brain in our body, right? The gut being the second brain and the most very important organ. So they discovered a lot of neurons and glial cells, but also what they discovered, it was a lot of bacteria, okay? And we can call it gut microbiota. And in fact, I don't know if you know, but you have more than 3 trillions of these bacteria in your gut, right? So they're populating.
Very heavy.
Yes, this is about 2.5 to 3 kilo of dry mass. Okay, and these little 3 trillion friends, as I call them, they are doing a lot of activities, and a byproduct of their activities is serotonin. And what serotonin does is, What serotonin does is this is the happy hormone that helps to stabilize our mood. But also what serotonin does is it's a precursor of melatonin. And melatonin, as we have seen with you, Judy, is a very, very important hormone for sleep. All right. And also these bacteria produce GABA. And GABA also is very important to calm down, to help you to calm down and to inhibit your stress. So you understand that if these 3 trillion bacteria are not very happy, so if they are in dysbiosis, then you will probably have insomnia, right? So what to do? What can you do to make these bacteria happy? Well, the answer is feed them properly, right? So you have to feed them unprocessed food, the food that is closer to the nature as possible. You have to feed them fiber food and a lot of diversity of fruits and vegetables. I like to call it the rainbow colors of fruits and vegetables. Preferably raw or slightly cooked, because you will cook the bacteria that are on them. Okay. You can use also fermented food like kimchi, kefir, yogurt. All of that are rich in probiotic and are very helpful, supplementing your guts with what they need. Okay. Another topic that is around guts and sleep is also toxicity. Okay. As Clara mentioned, toxicity can impair sleep function. Okay, and detoxification happen at night. So it's like a little vicious cycle there. Insomnia can be the symptom of toxicity, and if you are toxic, then you will not be able to sleep as well. All right. Insomnia can be created by toxicity in heavy metal like copper. And it can be also due to mold in our flat, and in Hong Kong with the humidity is quite frequent, I would say. So if you wake up around 2 a.m., there is a chance that your body has a toxic overload. So you will probably need to focus on toxicity. So get a detox program. And eliminate some toxic components from your environment would be necessary.
Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, seem to live aligned with nature and eat aligned with nature is the core theme today here. And Clara, do you have anything to add from a Chinese medicine perspective?
Well, so basically, I think we thought that like the digestive system is very important, like on the whole things, which is like just echoing what Catherine is saying, if you go back to the patterns that we are referring to earlier, apart from the heart system, which is normally the most affected system when we have insomnia, or the cause of the weakening heart is the most important reason. All the other organ involved is related to digestive system. Like we are talking about spleen system, we are talking about liver system, our gallbladder system. They are all like our digestive system. And plus, if any indigestion is happening, basically like reflux or like you're not like you have a heartburn during the night, it all affects the your sleeping quality. So I thought that like from our point of view, some of our approach to treat insomnia is also like appealing to the digestive system to make sure that it's intact before we go on to further treatment. So this is like the base of like how we treat it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Dr. Clara. So I guess if we all improve our digestion, the food, I guess that we can all improve our sleep also at some degree. So we talked about the whole physiology part of sleep, and we probably want to talk a bit more on the emotional side of it. And here I want to introduce another framework, which I use a lot in the coaching. It's called level of transformation. So if we look at on the top is the goal. If our goal today is to sleep well and to build more resilience. So to achieve that, then we need to have all the knowledges as we just shared, the physiology, the circadian and all that. Then we build up with strategy and skill in order to achieve that. And then there's also we need to look more deeper layers. So the next layer is about motivation. So we talk about how important sleep is. So I would like to ask the audience here is how important is sleep for you? If you can really have good quality sleep, how your life will be different. And then given the contribution that sleep makes to your life, how much commitment you have to take actions, to take efforts to improve your sleep. So this is the level of motivation. And then if we go one level deeper, it's around our thoughts and feelings. So I know research has said that on average, every human being has around 50 to 70,000 of thoughts. And many of them are repetitive and many of them are negative. So just imagine we have all these negative, repetitive thoughts around in our mind. And these stressful thoughts will lead to adrenaline peak and cortisol peak. Then that will lead to bad sleep at night. So in order to improve sleep, we also need to be very mindful of our thoughts and to be aware of those negative thinking patterns which we have, and then to shift that. So the less of negative thoughts and negative thinking patterns, then the better our mind will be, and then the more resilient we will be, and the better sleep we will have. And related with thoughts is also the emotional part. I know, Catherine, you deal a lot with people's emotion. Would you like to share a bit more?
Yes. Well, they don't look happy.
Yeah.
So in the word emotions, I would like to point out that there is E and emotions. So it is not static, right? And it's self-explanatory. You have to move what you feel, right? You have to process it. You have to assimilate it. And if you don't do it during the day, there is a big chance that you will do it during the night when your cortex and your other thinking functions are not switched on.
Yeah.
So, so you better, deal with it during the day. And here in Hong Kong, I see lots of people actually in my practice that are mastering the suppression. Okay, I don't know if that's probably cultural, or you have to do it right a bit more in your professional world, because you can't express the full range of emotions. So you have to do something, because if you don't act on it, right? You can generate more anxiety, more anger, more depression, and on the body side effect of it, you can be low, more fatigue, low energy, and your body start to break from inside out. So don't wait. My advice here is don't wait. You have to break this vicious cycle. If you cannot get it under control after 3 months, okay, you can self-diagnose yourself as a chronic insomniac. Okay, and there's plenty of solution for you to get back into balance in the natural way, like with kinesiology or TCM or the methods proposed by Balance Health. So don't wait. So maybe there is deeper reason also for emotion. So maybe Judy, you can let us know a bit more on that.
Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, indeed, that's when we have those deep emotions or recurrent emotions, it quite often coming to a deeper level of conflict. So if we go back to our framework, then after certain feelings, the next level we look at is really our identities, our core values, and the way of our being. So when those things are not aligned, when we're in a job which is aligned with our purpose, when we are in a relationship which is not honor who we are, when we are working environment which does not align with our values, and then those are the things will trigger all those long-lasting suffering of emotions. And clinically, we also see that this quite often, if you don't deal with it, it will become the onset of a chronic insomnia. People coming to us with 5-10 years insomnia experience. And the beginning of it is quite often due to that misalignment at a very core level. So it's something we do need to look at it if that is the reason for sleep. Okay, so that's all the framework side. And then next, we would like to introduce a bit more on practical sides. So Catherine, would you like to share with us the sleep kit you put together for us?
Yes, just probably quickly few elements of it. So first of all, I would say nutrition is the first medicine. I mean, you have to fix that one first. And then if need be, you can look at the magnesium, melatonin, GABA, L-theanine form of supplementation. I just say that magnesium is a very common deficiency. 30% of us are magnesium deficient. If you want to look at herbs, ashwagandha is very, very good herbs, adaptogenic herbs from India, and address the cortisol and the adrenals, the type of stress. You can also use essential oils and black flower for your, remedies as well.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Catherine. So today, given the time, we probably would like to leave more time for Q&A, so we're not going into very detail. So if you would like to have the slide, we're happy to share. Then just type your email in the chat, and then we will send the slides to you. And I know that, Catherine, you also prepare some very simple practice for emotional balance. Can you share with us?
Yeah, so this is to process your emotions. So the first one that you can do, it's very easy. If you can put your hands on the top of your forehead, right, pressing gently here. Actually, the 2 points here on the top of the eyeballs are the one to reach. But you can gently put your hands, it's also doing the same effect. And you think about your emotions and you let go. So you can breathe and process this emotion like that. It brings blood flow into your cortex also. So that helps to rationalize your thoughts. There is these points here for anxiety. So if you're more fearful, if there is something more threatening to you, so you could press on these points, which are just below the collarbone. And there is another series of interesting points. These ones are what I call them self-hard points. So you just do this as a cross. You keep your hands on the collarbones and this point here in the middle. And you also breathe, think about your emotions and let it go, right? And this one is for like, it's nothing logical about your emotion. You can't rationalize it. So maybe it's coming from your belief system, maybe it's coming from, framework that you learned during your childhood. So there's nothing, no logic to it. So you can use these points.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. I'm going to practice that a lot more. And I know that Clara also prepared some very practical practice for us. And Clara, would you like to share with us?
Yeah. So one of the, we talk about one of the patterns that we see in clinical practice, or the most common patterns is like the disharmony between the heart system and also the kidney system. So what we're trying to do here is a very simple exercise that you can do before you go to bed, which is like just using the center of your palm to rub the center of your feet. The pictures over there should give you a very clear indicators how to do it already. The force I want you to do is like with moderate force, with the target of like warming up the feet. So that when so normally people will ask how many times I should do. It's like probably like 99 times each side. The number is do not have any magic. It's just like to give you a consistency that you're practicing. And also when you do it, you can be more mindful when you count the number. So so basically what it serves is to calm the body. And also like it will also like reconnect the heart system and the kidney system, which makes you have a deeper sleep and have a better quality of sleep overall. So it worked well, so especially for people that actually being affected by pharmacological reasons, like they're taking chemo or they're taking certain medicines that will affect the sleep. This is particularly effective. And another thing is more general that we're going to share next is like simple tea to promote a better sleeping quality. We talk about emotions, and emotions is deeply related to our liver system's functioning. And the two patterns of related to it is like, which will cause insomnia. One is like liver T stagnations. The other thing is like the liver blood deficiency. So in the daytime, if you take some floral tea, it can prevent the liver T stagnations. We normally would, why we use flowers, because like flower is like opening up, it's like spreading it out, right? So like any stagnations can go. So Chinese medicine is like that. It's very pattern. It's very like life related or nature related. So the flower we suggest is normally rose is actually very good. Another red color flower is roselle, is also very good. If you have the Chinese taste, then maybe you also like the osmanthus. It is also like a very tasty and smell good type of floral flower that you can make into tea. And at the nighttime, we want you to take fruit tea because we want to nourish the blood. Fruit and root are those where the energy is, and then it's the most nourishing part of a plant. So for fruit, like the most recommended are those in red colors, like any days that is like red days, black days, or blue color days, all is good as long as it's dark colors. So as like goji berries, which is also very blood enhancing. And also the dry longan. The dry longan is extremely calming, has an extremely calming effect. The only drawback on that is like all this is quite sweet. So you have to mind the quantity that you put into, and definitely not add the sugars. This is like sweetened enough. And it will also help, not just help you to calm yourself down, but also like enriching your blood in the long run. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clara. So now we have some good reason to bring the sweetness into our diet, but just to be keep a good balance. Yeah. And then next, as we shared before, that to be mindfulness, and also it's a very good way for us to manage stress and also for better sleep. So that we would like to share a 2-minute heart coherence mindfulness practice. So it's just for you to slow down your breathing and to connect to your heart, and then bring into your mind a positive emotion, and just for 2 minutes. So if you would like to follow, then you can follow us. You can just, if you have some time place safe. You can just kind of put your feet down on the ground. And you can close your eyes if you like, or you can just softly gaze your eyes at certain object and begin to do a few slow and deep breathing. Breathe in and out, slow and deep. And begin to connect back to your body, just to feel how you feel. And letting go of all the busyness of the day. And if you feel any tensions, just breathe into that spot of tension. And when you breathe out, let the tension go. One more time. And out. And now you can bring your awareness to your heart. And just imagine that you are breathing in and out through your heart. If you feel comfortable, you can put your hand on top of your chest. Just focus on your heart. Slow and deep breathing. You can breathe in 5 seconds and out 5 seconds. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Out. And now you can bring a very positive emotion to your heart. It can be peace and calm. It can be joy. It can be love and compassion. Just bring that to your heart and feel it. And at the same time, remain slow and deep breathing. And now you can imagine to radiate out this feeling from your heart out to your whole body. Now your whole body feels this emotion of peace, calm, joy, love, compassion. And each of your cells is radiated with this positive emotion. And you can stay here for one more breathing. And whenever you are ready, you can come back. You can open your eyes and come back to connect with the three-dimensional world again. And I would like to thank you, everybody. It's a beautiful practice. I can feel this energy being very peace and calm now, even across Zoom. So in this peace and calm moment, I would like you to reflect of all the things we've shared, what you've learned, and what is giving sleep is so important. What is one action that you would like to take to improve your sleep after the talk? So we put together 12 important things we've covered, from food to exercise to eat before 7, sleep before 11. You just pick 1 or 2 or 3 that you would like to take action on. I will invite you to write down and think about how you can keep yourself accountable. And if you would like us to keep you accountable, you can email your action to our clinic. Here we have our email. And then that within a week time, we will check in with you that whether you've done the action that you commit you will do to improve your sleep. We also have a bit information of our website, our social media. We share a lot of health information. So if you like, you can follow us. And with that, we'll open up to Q&As. And then after the Q&A, we will do our final lucky draw. So let me look at the, so first question, probably to Clara. How to do self-acupressure for insomnia?
Yeah, so like there's a lot of like things you can do, but then the one that we just introduced, like rubbing the center, your center of feet with the center of hand, basically is I personally think that is the most effective one. Of course, like there's certain acupoints like Loi Guan Yu, and there's a lot, and also like the head massage, and there's a lot of other things that we can use in order to help us to sleep better. But like this is like it's a too long a question, so probably if you really want to have a little bit more tips, you can also email to me through the Balance Health, and then I will just like a couple of tips or like a one-page things and get back to you on that.
Yeah, thank you, Clara. And then the next question is tips of easy wake up. Yeah, that is quite common because actually clinically we see most people actually easy to fall in sleep, but difficult to then they wake up and difficult to get back to sleep. So Catherine, do you have any tips around easy wake up?
Well, for me, I don't put any wake up call. So I don't have this shock in the morning when I wake up. But there is some wake up machine that provides light, so the lights come up, slowly, gradually, and it's better than the some of the alarm, which is very aggressive actually. So that's what I do. But if you wouldn't wake up naturally, I would say if you had your amount of sleep hours that you require, which is in general the 8 hours, right?
Yeah, and in terms of like if you easily wake up mid of the night and cannot go back to sleep, then probably one suggestion is really that don't force yourself, because many of the time that people who have sleep issues, they actually get a lot of stress of not able to sleep. And sometimes if you just allow, if you wake up mid of the night and you tell yourself it is okay, compared to that I have to go back to sleep, and just take the stress out. And then that do something like a body scan, a scan from your head all the way to your toe, and just to relax your body. And if you go back to sleep, you go back to sleep. And if it's really not, it's probably even better to actually get up and do something, read some books or things like that. And when you're tired, then you go back to sleep.
But no screen.
Yeah, very right, no screen.
Right.
Because like the moment you use blue and screen, that your body thinks it's daytime, and then they not produce melatonin and do other things. Yeah.
But then if you are traveling, like I used to travel a lot when I have the global jobs, and then I found that the easiest things to approach it is like if you wake up at 3 o'clock and you don't want to go back to sleep due to time changes, you just let it happen. And then your target is like every day you try to change it for an hour. So soon you will be like sleep till like 6. But then like don't force yourself on the first day and get frustrated, because anxiety is like definitely one of the cause of your insomnia. So don't let it happen. And the more you think about it, just like what Judy said, the more difficult that you fall back to sleep.
Yeah. Then the question is about how to keep mouth closed during sleep. I know there's those like mouth tape nowadays are quite popular. Which you can buy 3M also or Amazon, and that can help. But we probably would recommend check with your GP and to see that whether your physical body is fit for that.
Yeah, but also like why you open your mouth probably is because you have a sleep apnea. So which means that you cannot breathe through your nose properly. So that's another thing you probably would like to check. There's a lot of remedy for sleep apnea, but then like so just to find out the root cause of why you have to open your mouth, like during the sleep.
And then the next question is around probably not too much about nowadays for better sleep management for disturbance due to air travel across time zones. I guess alumni from business school might need to travel a lot. Hope the COVID will finish soon. Then we have this problem again. So any recommendations on that?
Yeah, I just mentioned like let it happen. Yeah, so like and then like for traveling on the time zone, maybe melatonin can help a little bit because like it actually help the readjustment of the rebalancing.
Yes, so you can take temporarily some melatonin supplement, like 1 gram, when you come back, from your business travel, and allow when you cross the time zone, allow 1 day per 1 time zone that you cross. So, for instance, when I travel to France, it will take me 7 days to recover from it, right? So I'm also gentle and don't expect me too much. To also be regulated within 1 or 2 days. You need also time for your body to let it happen. But melatonin definitely can help you to shorten that time.
For me, I myself actually do not have too much sleep issue when I cross time zones. And one secret I have is that I really do yoga 1 to 2 hours every day. And I do certain type of yoga, which allows my body to be aligned with the whole universal and sun system very quickly. So when I travel to the new place, my system can align with the universal system very quick. So I probably would suggest you, if you do yoga, the sun salute set is very good for to helping you to align your body with the new system. That helps to adjust probably less than 7 days if you can add yoga practice into it. And also that sun exposure is very important as well.
For 12-hour time zones, I normally do is like I drink only green tea on board. Like if you go into internet, there was a lot of people suggesting too. I practically use this method for like 10, 12 years, and it helps me. Like when you do 12-hour time zone, like from Hong Kong, New York to New York. So like I just drink 4 to 5 cups of green tea on board, like during the flight, and it actually helped. So like it's something to consider, So like there's a lot of tips out there in the internet. The only thing is that you need to find something that actually suits you. Yeah. So like it can be done. One thing for sure is like it's just like a total strategy. It's like how you help yourself. I also know some kids, younger generations, what they do is they prep for the time change. So they start changing the time clock before they go on board. So like which work too, especially for younger generations. I personally haven't tried it. My son do it though. And it worked for him.
Yeah. So given the time, probably our last question, and that how can I sleep longer? That's a very good question. I guess a lot of people would like to sleep longer. Would like to address that.
Or do you need to sleep longer?
Yeah,
Also
this
the
is what
question.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
But how to stay asleep? I think we talked about strategies all along the talk, which is food, exercise, and supplements and points you can try, etc., etc. So that will keep you asleep as long as possible, as long as you need, I would say.
But I also think that like there's a physical tiredness and also a mental tiredness. A lot of people come to me, my clients come to me for insomnia problems. A lot of people just tell me that, oh, I have been so tired in my mind, and how can I not fall asleep? So like we talk about a couple of things like from a Chinese medicine patterns. Remember that in that slide, the reason that you cannot fall asleep normally is due to, like first time when you cannot fall asleep is only due to you have excessive heat or you have some pathogens in there. So like if that is what you're bothering, then you have to clear that. And also like, and on the other hand, if you wake up in the middle of the night and then you which make your sleep quality not consistent, then probably you have to address your deficiency. So like you have to check on, like seek some professional help and find out what exactly is the root cause of you cannot sleep like long enough in your perspective. I presume that when you ask that questions, you don't think you have enough energy to go through the day. But if you have enough energy to go through the day, remember that that's not a certain fixed time you have to sleep. As long as like from 6 hours to 10 hours is all allowable. It's not all legitimate. So don't get so adamant on like 8 hours or 9 hours. It's not the longer the better. It's the most appropriate the better.
Yeah, and probably in general is that to make your body physically tired, but make your mental mind not that tired. So that's a good strategy to
it's also balancing.
To have good sleep, and especially closer to sleep time, that your mind needs to slow down. If you have a busy mind, then that your sleep won't be good. And I saw people asking about deep sleep and REM sleep. So that is quite key to manage your mind, and do some mindfulness practice before you go to bed. Do some yoga stretching and mindfulness practice before you go to bed, like the one we just did. You can just practice it before you go to bed. That will be very helpful. Okay, so there's more questions we're not able to all go through. So that maybe there's common interest that we probably can arrange something in the future. And now it is time for us to do lucky draw. And well, we are preparing that for those. We have 3 lucky draw winner today, and we're giving out 3 treatments, 1 acupuncture with Dr. Clara Chong, 1 kinesiology session with Catherine, and then 1 coaching session with me. And in case you're not the winner, then no need to worry, because that we also prepare something for everybody. So for everybody who are audience today, that you will get 300 off for acupuncture or kinesiology treatment with Clara and Catherine. Or you can get 500 off for our balanced sleep package or balanced de-stress package. And also for me, that since COVID, I've been offering every Wednesday afternoon, I'm offering flexible coaching rate, meaning that you can just pay at a rate which you are affordable to students or anybody who have financial challenges but need support on things like sleep, stress, life purpose, personal development, leadership. Yeah. And for now, it's the time for us to announce the winner.
Want to go first? Yeah. So like for Chinese medicines, the one who got it is Thomas Ng, whose telephone number starts with 9363. Yeah. So I know that. I thought that you know who you are, and then I will contact you and making sure that
you have our email on this slide, so that you can just contact us to arrange. And Catherine?
So the lucky winner in kinesiology is Scarlett Ma. Okay, and the email start with 102 663. Well done.
Congratulations. And the lucky person for the coaching session is Yan Han, with the telephone beginning with 6814. So congratulations. We're looking forward to see you at our clinic in Central. And again, if you would like to get our slides, then you can just leave your email in the chat. So we will get it all and send over the slides. And thank you all for the time and to being here with us. We really enjoy the time and to share this insight around sleep. So we wish you all good sleep, begin to practice some of the things we shared today, and become more resilient and have better sleep and better health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. And I hope that you will enjoy the session and benefit from all the great sharing from our panelists. I think we all should practice some of the exercises that our panelists have suggested. They seem to be quite easy to do. So again, thank you, Clara, Judy, and also Catherine. Again, thank you, all of you, for joining us. We would love to hear from you the feedback about this workshop. So please complete a simple survey by scanning the QR code on the screen. If you have any, okay, so QR code coming, so please scan it. If you have any further queries and suggestions, do feel free to let us know by email at sbmalum@ust.hk. I just wanted to also thank everybody. This will be the last session webinar that we will have for the calendar year 2020. We really appreciate all your support. And in the coming new year, we actually have planned a wonderful and alumni new year virtual networking event. Please mark your calendar, alumni. Will be January 7th, 2021, which is a Thursday at 7 p.m. And you will be welcome, with a lot of great people, like alumni, and also we will have a very attractive lucky draw for all of you to celebrate the new year. So thank you again for all of your support, and we wish you a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.